Welcome to Black in Business. I'm your host, the Eunice.
And I am Miss Gabrielle, also known as Miss G.
And welcome. Do you have to give the eyeballs? I mean, I know it's on
I,
me.
I can edit that out.
Can we load? Let's start over.
Take one.
Welcome to Black in Business, where the possibilities are limitless. I'm your host, the Eunice.
And I'm Miss G.
And let's jump back into it. If you are joining us for the first time, please go back and watch our earlier episodes. It catches you up on what we are discussing, on why it's so important to have the conversations that we are having right now. And today we are going into our next topic, which is seeking access. Why don't you tell us, what does it mean to seek access? What does that mean?
Um, I would say from my perspective, it can mean multiple things. I think one, it can mean searching out people that already possess what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Um, but I think sometimes that's not always feasible. I think that if you have other business owners in your family, in your circle, that's great. If they are open to you asking the questions or even sitting down, with them throughout the day and just kind of picking their brain, that's awesome. But then you also have business owners that are gatekeepers. And unfortunately, that's just the world we live in. You have some people that want to paint the picture of they achieved everything on their own
Mhm.
when they did not. So I think it boils down to, if you have access to people that can help you get a better understanding of business ownership, that's great. If you don't have access to them, there are plenty of entrepreneurial books that you can research, that you can go find, that you can check out at a library for free, that you can order online, that you can locate, find, gain access to, that can kind of help you understand uh, the mindset of a business owner. But I think overall access can be multiple things. It's more so about where you are in the process and what you're looking for.
Mhm.
What's your opinion?
Well, first, I want to ask some follow-up questions to that, because you did mention gatekeepers, and you talked about family. How do you think, how do you handle dealing with a gatekeeper?
I mean, I don't think it's something that you have control over. Like, you only have control over your own efforts. So I would say don't let that discourage you.
Yeah.
Someone wanting to gatekeep information from you really shows an insecurity in what they possess. Because if you feel like somebody can come along and take it from you, then you're not really secure in it. With me being a business owner, me and my husband being a business owner for the last almost 6 years,
Yeah.
I know there's only one me. Even if someone has the same products that I have, there's only one me. And my customers have built a relationship with me.
Mhm.
So regardless of if 5 other people offer the same products, none of those other 5 people are me, have my personality, have my charisma, have my gifts. So there's nothing that they can take from me. And those that are meant to be your customers or meant to be your clients will be. So I
Yeah.
think that when I come across people that are gatekeepers, my first response is, bless your heart, because you don't know no better.
Very.
Um, but there are other people that don't give as much grace, I'll say, or maybe they just haven't gotten to that part of their journey.
Mhm.
But I think you just have to give them grace because they don't know any better.
Yeah.
They're going based on a corporate mindset, and corporate teaches you to gatekeep. Corporate teaches you that you have to bring forth a specific set of skills in order for you to be valued. And if you assist anyone else with attaining those skills, then that makes your position obsolete. And so it kind of makes it like a cutthroat situation, or what's the word I'm looking for? Uh, Environment. But as a business owner, it doesn't have to be that way. There are,
Right.
unfortunately, are business owners that do still operate with that mindset. but it doesn't have to be that way.
Mm-hmm. I agree. And I definitely would say with those who you maybe reach out to who choose not to help, number one, don't take it personally, because clearly it may be their own insecurity that prevents them from realizing that not only would they be a benefit to you, but that you can be equally beneficial to them. That's, I think, is probably one of the main things that corporate America can miss. It's dog eat dog,
Right.
to where I want to get over on this person, or there's one position and only it's two people for it, and only one person's going to get that position. So you have to fight it out.
Right.
And in this situation, like for us, we are partners, and we talked in previous previous videos about how I bring a certain skill to it and you bring certain skills and gifts or talents to it, and we're able to feed off of each other really well. So I think, just number one, don't take it personally if someone does not grant you access to their information, and don't
Right.
let it stop you. That
Right.
was the second thing. Don't stop it. Well, I talked to this person and they didn't help me, so I'm just going to give it up. But
Right.
let's talk about those who do help. Like, what are some things that they can ask?
Let's back up with a follow-up question. So I want to hear, what is your opinion of what does access mean to you, or do you even feel like there's need for access? Because I think that's another thing we talked about in a previous episode. Was oftentimes I've learned you don't know you need access to a room until you're in it, and you have some people that are like, what is this access you speak of? So I really want to hear from your perspective your take on access.
Wow. Okay. My take on access is being able, or having the ability, or having the having the ability to gain knowledge, information, skills, or whatever it is you need from a different source. So getting access, being able to reach something you need in order to get to that next step. I did talk about the school system that I grew up in, to where it was very, you have this, and then I'm like, what are the other choices? So for instance, not having any investment classes, not having any budgeting. Well, we kind of had budgeting, but there was maybe a couple of lessons, and it had nothing to do with living in the real world. I think it had a lot more to do with sustaining yourself in the area where you were, but not opening up the world to open up you to different possibilities. I think that's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, being able to get into a room or get into a space where you can learn where you can gain access to a skill or to knowledge that will help push you forward. Just having the ability to get into the spaces that you need in order to move forward. And I say that because you mentioned once, that God doesn't give you an idea by chance. He doesn't just give you an idea for you to do nothing with it. But if you have never been trained, or never been taught, or never saw anybody take something from nothing, from an idea to a product, or to um, ownership, if you don't know that, then it is just an idea to you. It's like, oh, that'd be fun. And then, if even if you thought, yes, I can do it, you might stop yourself at, oh, somebody else has done it. But understanding that you can have this idea, you do get this idea, and then you can go find the resources that can help you move in that direction. And resources can be a person, it can be a books, it can be a lecture, it could be videos, right? So all right, so do you think are some, like, what are some tools or some resources that helps you gain access, that has helped you?
There's one book in particular that helped me when it comes to communicating with people. there were things that I didn't take into consideration when having conversations with people prior to me listening to this book. It was an audiobook, which there is, of course, a hardcover version, paperback version. But this particular one I listened to via audio. And it just really made me evaluate how I interact with people. I think I've always been a very straightforward person. But I read a book talking about personality types. And although I am a straightforward person, 9 times out of 10, the people that I'm communicating with are not. So in order for me to effectively communicate what I'm thinking and what I'm feeling to someone who's not, I have to learn how to speak their language, because based on your personality type determines how you hear things. And so when I listen to this audiobook talking about conversations and how to have conversations, when I say it made me rethink so many things, I was like, that never crossed my mind. Like, it's so much stuff that they talked about in the book that I was literally like baffled, because it was just stuff that I genuinely never thought about, but it made so much sense when dealing with someone who doesn't have the same personality type as you. And it's like, if you just really sit and reflect on the people that you interact with, you'll see more often than not, the people you talk to on a regular basis don't have the same personality as you. So when you are trying to convey a certain message, oftentimes it can go unheard just because you're not saying it in a language they can understand. And when I say that, I mean like you're clearly speaking English or Spanish or Portuguese, whatever language you speak, to where they can physically understand you, but because of their personality, it's not registering what you're saying. Right. And I also listen to other podcasts and audios that talk about business perspectives and business principles. And one in particular that I heard also talked about communication, and basically, you know who you are on the inside, but if you're unable to communicate that verbally with someone else, you're not an effective communicator. And so that helped me put things into perspective, because although I know my heart and I know my intentions, if I'm trying to explain that to you and that goes over your head, that means I need to work on my communication skills. So I feel like books come in handy so much because it makes you self-reflect and it shows you areas of opportunity for you to grow yourself. And of course, growing yourself leads to other opportunities. But I feel like that's really the foundation of being a business owner, is being willing to always reinvent yourself, being willing to always grow and do things that you're not used to doing, because it's going to help you as a business owner. It's going to make you a more effective business owner. It's going to make you a better business owner. It's going to help people to relate to you, and it's also going to give you credibility with other people when it comes to them being able to learn, from your mistakes. Another, I guess, thought principle, I'll say, that I've had to adapt is, in school, you're taught that failure is bad.
Yes.
But in business, failure is necessary, because that's the only opportunity you have to grow. And I feel like if you don't fail, then you don't have room to succeed. So as a business owner, failure is necessary to succeed. It's something we call failing forward. Because
say that,
once you learn from your mistakes, you're now in a space to move forward, to progress, and to go on to the next obstacle or the next failure, the next lesson, however you want to look at it. But the negative connotation that we have attached to failure does not apply in business, because in school and grades, failure is bad. You get in trouble, you dread going home and telling your parents you got a bad grade on your report card. But in business, failure means progress. Failure means you're growing. And so it's almost like you need to get excited about failure because you're moving the needle forward. But that's something that over time you learn to accept. But initially, because of the connotation that it's always had in your life, it's really hard for you to wrap your brain around it.
Yeah. Which goes back into changing your mindset. So gaining access through books, audiobooks, that's her ministry. That's not mine. Like we all know, well, we have said more than once that my brain, I would be listening to it and will then start thinking of something else, and minutes have passed. But if audiobooks is what helps you, yeah, listen to it. Miss G, you said once before, listen to it in the car. Fine. But yeah, there's the other caveat of these books, be it hardcover or audiobooks or podcasts. You learn from it. So it's another, you have access, but if you don't put it into action, then you don't have anything except another good book or another good audio. So when you're finding these pieces, you have to try them, which goes into failures, failing forward, because everything you try, it won't succeed. It will have hurdles. We have a lot of those, but once you get the access and you put it into practice, don't let the failures and the setbacks or the hurdles, don't let that stop you. That's how you're gonna propel yourself forward with that. And that's from the book perspective. But again, I think joining someone is so beneficial. Having someone partner with you in your business venture helps you to be able to not just move forward, but you have somebody else to bounce ideas off of, to encourage you when you are having a setback that may be hard to get past, or to get, put in to your business what you don't naturally have. So um, I say that access part, you have to then put it into practice. Now that may not be overnight, because some things are not. But at least you're putting in your.
It's not going to be overnight.
Yeah,
it's not
going to be overnight.
Really, it's not going to happen overnight, because you have to learn to break the habits that you have. It took time for you to build those habits. It's going to take time for you to rebuild those habits.
Yeah, because mine was definitely being shy and introverted. And
so she say nobody's convinced.
No, you're not convinced. I'm convinced. You don't want to be convinced. This one of them areas you have not gained full actionable steps in. But yes, I had to get over even something like this, where I have to put myself out there and talk to people or invite people into that space that I, was my safe space of.
She invited me in from the first time we met, just FYI. So
that was an accident. That was
has been different.
Our friendship, partnership, relationship was, I would say, it was a divine connection, because it takes the right person. It couldn't have been just anybody. I needed a Miss G, and she needed a the Eunice. Fun fact. Don't be throwing that out there. I'm editing that part. But yeah, so just even see how our interaction, it builds us up. It's not somebody that's going to constantly tear you down. Now, she has said no to things in a nice way, because then I have to think about it and be like, wait, so you don't want to do that? And she has been blunt. I don't need this information in my life. But with the right person, it works. And she's definitely a great partner for me, because in the struggles and in the hurdles, I have somebody to bounce off ideas with and to encourage me when I need that, and vice versa. Like, I may show her cute
we
things.
are the true definition of iron sharpens iron.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so, and we're happy to bring you along for the ride and the journey.
If you want to come.
I really think we have to continue this conversation in a follow-up episode, because I think we're just scratching that surface of accessing and taking some of those first steps. So I think we will continue that conversation moving forward because it's so important. It's so important to give listeners a space to think through those pieces, that I can find access through people. I don't have to take it personally if they don't want to help. I can reach out. You can reach out to us. We are if you want someone who is willing, some people willing, you can email us. You can drop comments in the bottom, but don't let people that's in your regular space that don't want to help, don't let them stop you. On that,
And on that note, that is our time. If you felt this information was beneficial or insightful, please like, comment, share, and subscribe, because we are on a path and on a journey to change lives all 2025.
yes.
So with that, we will see you on our next wonderful episode. Hopefully we won't have 7 takes, but you never know. We'll see
They
when
don't
we
even
get
need
there.
to know that. They don't even need to know. You supposed to end it on 2025.
And cut.
I don't even know why she do this.
Okay.
Let's start over.
Okay.
Welcome to Black in Business. I'm your host, C. Eunice.
And I am Miss Gabrielle, also known as Miss G.
Side note, so we probably gonna start one more time. Are you gonna say that every time?
Take 3.
Welcome to Black in Business. I'm your host, The Eunice.
And I'm Miss G.
And we are here for another sit down and get together to talk about being Black and transforming into business ownership. I said being Black.
We gone.
That to me is my I will edit.
I know. With the way words are stumbling, I already know you're gonna edit.
Yeah, so business where the possibilities are limitless. That's what I'm missing. Okay. Yeah, you can say take.
Takes.